Surely you've noticed the commercial spaceflight industry is experiencing an unprecedented wave of innovation.
And as new space tour companies change the way that we can see our world, a moratorium on spaceflight regulation and participant safety has come to the forefront.
In the latest CBS Reports documentary, Mark Strassmann takes a close look at the next great leap for humankind and whether regulators and industry stakeholders are striking the right balance between encouraging innovation and ensuring safety.
Few regulations protect today's civilian astronauts, and critics say company safety standards lack transparency.
If I ask you about Blue Origin, SpaceX, or Virgin Galactic safety standards, you would essentially say, we have no idea.
I can't tell you. Yeah, we have no idea.
And we are lucky to have Mark joining us here in Studio 57. He is a CBS News senior national correspondent. You know, Mark, when you look at the trajectory of just air travel in this country, if that's any sort of roadmap for space tourism, we have to imagine that this is something that is going to expand very rapidly, potentially to a wider group of people than we're just seeing this uber elite right now. What do you see?
And you're absolutely right. I mean, and just as was the case with commercial aviation, with this current era of commercial spaceflight, it's the wealthy who were originally the flyers back then, and it's the wealthy who are now the venturing up to space right now. And just as with commercial aviation too, at the beginning there was no regulation. It evolved over time. It evolved often after disasters, and now that's sort of where we are with commercial space. We haven't had the disasters. Fingers crossed that continues. But do we need now what amounts to some grown-up supervision over this industry? And that's the question that everybody's trying to confront: is have we reached a point where regulation is required, or do we continue to have this period where these companies more or less police themselves?
And it looks like the wealth is what's leading the way. I mean, the people who are developing these space programs are billionaires. They have their own ego to kind of compete with globally. And the regulation hasn't really caught up, which is the conflict you're looking into for this,
It
right?
is companies rather than countries that are now leading the way in this commercial age of space. And billionaires are sinking their considerable bank accounts into the funding of these missions and the development of all this technology. And all of that has been, on many levels, absolutely remarkable. But the question now is, has this industry evolved to a point where somebody should step in and protect the people who are going up in space the same way if we all step on a plane? There are an endless series of regulations that governs everything about that plane, all the way down to like the size of the seatbelts, right? Like, should that be the case now with commercial space flight? Because as it stands right now, the only thing that is protected with regulation is the liftoff and the re-entry. And that is really in place to protect people on the ground from, say, falling debris, not people who are actually going up into space. The mission itself, the time that you spend up there, you're really kind of on your own. You have to have informed consent. You have to go through some safety regulations, but again, some safety training rather. But that again depends on the individual company as to how much training you're going to go through.
Wow.
And
there's nothing really required.
Well, I can imagine that these companies' arguments are that they are innovators, they're on the bleeding edge of technological developments, and that they can't have regulations slowing them down. We mentioned the moratorium on regulating spaceflight participant safety. Talk to us about that. Where do things stand?
So in 2004, Congress essentially said, we're not going to have regulation. We're going to have what's called the learning period to allow these companies to innovate. This is the very beginning, the dawn of this commercial space era. And the feeling was these companies needed to have the wiggle room, the latitude, the freedom to explore their own ways. And basically, like Blue Origin and Virgin Galactic, very different approaches, but they were allowed to develop their very different approaches to spaceflight because there was nothing really regulating them. That moratorium has been extended 3 times. It expires again on Sunday. And the question is, what do we do from here? Does Congress jump in and have the FAA come in and start regulating these companies? Or does this learning period continue for the foreseeable future? Right now, it looks like the learning period is going to continue for the foreseeable future.
Lana said she would sign up to fly. Would you?
Say, show of hands.
100%.
Here we go. You'd go.
I'd go.
Would you
No,
go?
I'll wait for these regulations to get sorted.
I'll bring you back
Take some
pictures.
I'm with you, Mark. I'll stay here nice and safe for now.
All right, Mark Strassmann, thank you.
My pleasure.
Great to see you, Mark.
And you can watch the new CBS Reports documentary, Space Tourism, The Next Great Leap, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern or anytime on the free CBS News app and Paramount Plus.